You're not going to eat your biscuit? There we go. Bit of ASMR action. Oh, you've got your mic muted. Shame. Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 127 of the WA Running Podcast, recording on Monday, the 17th of August, 2026. In this week's episode, we preview the big dance, Transcend Trails, on this Saturday, the 22nd of August. In other results, we've got Christmas Island Marathon, as well as the Marathon Club's Lake Gwelup Run. Across my screen is someone who has an ITRA rating of dash, a UTMB rating of also dash, and he's on the elite start list of the 65K this Saturday. Chris, the Metronome Shaw, how are you, mate?
I am exceptional. I'm feeling very pumped for this race. I'm not so pumped about being mentioned in the top 10 contenders for this race, but no, it's very kind of Shane and the team to include me. I suspect it's either because of the podcast or because they feel sorry for me. So, yeah, it's good. I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long road to get here, or a long trail to get here, and now just thoroughly enjoying sleeping in and the taper.
Very good, mate. We'll get into your final preparations later in the episode. Across the other side of my screen is someone who is the queen of the gravel, specifically the 14K. And this Saturday, hopefully, she'll be the queen of the mountain in leg 5. Vici Ritson, how are you, mate?
We're feeling the pressure now. Yeah, I'm very good, thanks. There is no way that I'm going to be queen of the mountain. That was a joke.
I don't know. I've been seeing those Stairmaster pictures.
Yeah, I don't think 120 minutes block on the Stairmaster is going to suffice to beat whatever ridiculous time is the leading time of that segment.
You never know. And finally, across the other side of my screen is my favourite physio. She's a physio at Frontrunner, Eastaugh. Welcome back to the WA Running Podcast.
Thanks for having me. I feel like you can't also say your favourite physio because I don't think you've ever seen anybody else.
I mean, I know a couple more. I know at least 4, and you're top 4. Are you well, Ella?
Yes, I'm very well. I have just got back into running, so can't complain.
Oh, very good. Well, tell us all about it. Last time you were on, when was that? It's a couple of months ago. How were you tracking then, and what's been happening since?
So I have finally gotten out of the pool. I mean, I could probably go back every now and then and do an extra top-up aerobic session, but that can be a choice now rather than a forced option. So, yeah, this last week I've managed 15 Ks of running, which is huge compared to the graph on Strava where you basically just have I think you had a flat line for probably 3 months. So no, I've had since I've spoken to you guys, I've had a couple of cortisone injections, lots of recovery and resting time, which has been very hard to learn, but nonetheless very helpful, proven to. Lots of swimming, lots of rehab, lots of time in the gym that I haven't really enjoyed, but it's got me back to where I am now. So I am feeling very grateful.
What was wrong with you?
So I had for those who don't know what your ITB is, it basically runs down the side of your leg, starts at the top of the hip, attaches in the side of your knee, and you can get this ITB compression syndrome. It used to be called friction syndrome. And it's basically where the ITB inserts, there's a really highly innervated fat pad and bursa that sits on the bottom, and it's an overuse type injury. So much like a tendinopathy, it can just rub and rub and rub and rub. And for those who have not had it, I underestimated how painful it was. So I think hence why I pushed through probably for a little bit too long. But yeah, it's basically just like a inflammatory kind of issue that you need to properly let settle. You just can't keep going back too early. So unfortunately I made a couple of those mistakes. But yeah, I am now back, so I can't complain.
Trying to get back into it, and getting those sort of setbacks? Like, I guess, running and then getting that pain and then easing back, trying to run again, I guess yo-yoing for a certain degree of time. At what point did you just go, oh, like, what is wrong with me? Do I just need to stop running altogether for a period of time?
I think it was probably when I went back to the sports doctor for the second time. I remember him saying after a couple of weeks, send me a text and see how you're going. After the first injection, for context, I had a week off running, so I just was strictly in the pool, didn't do any of my like rehab stuff because that involved a lot of knee bending. And from about 30 degrees is where your ITB really starts to flick over that area. So it was strictly no knee bending, just offload it completely. So did that, had the week off, was always feeling great if I wasn't running. So I was very lucky in that respect that it didn't really affect too much of my day-to-day life. Like going downstairs was probably the next most uncomfortable thing. And then, tried to get back into running. I wrote my own return to running program, which you should never do as a physio because we're usually a little bit too generous. So, I wrote that. I was using a rehab program from one of the physios at work, Ben. Props to him. He's got me back. So he deserves all the kudos that he can get. But, went back to pretty much probably too hard, too soon, kept running because I thought it was just in my head. And then 2 weeks later, messaged my sports doctor and he was like, come back in, and had another injection. He said 2 weeks off, and I just rolled my eyes at him and I went, oh, fine. So I think at that point when you've tried something, you've gotten back, I think there was definitely some holes in the way that I got back and some things that I could have refined and probably done a bit better. But that's all part of the learning process, right? But in the end, just went, do you know what? What's another 2 weeks in the grand scheme of rehab when you've been trying to, like you were saying, yo-yoing between running and not running, for a good 3 months. So it was kind of just all hit ahead, and my sports doctor went, well, why don't you just need it? And then I think it must have been the week that I was returning to running. I was chatting to my boss, Steve, at work, and at this stage I'd cancelled Melbourne, so pulled out of the marathon, and he was like, what's another week off? And I looked at him and I was like, you're so right, but I was so ready to run tomorrow. So ended up having another week off, which in hindsight was probably a really good thing just because I needed that little extra confidence booster from the elliptical. And now we're up to 15 Ks.
You touched on Melbourne there. I suppose you had Melbourne Marathon weighing over your head for a very long period of time. Like, was that, I guess, knowing that was in October and you're probably seeing the weeks sort of tick down a little bit, did that add that bit of anxiety and pressure to try and almost force yourself back running perhaps too quickly?
Yeah, definitely. I think even in the first instance, I was always pushing to get to HBF, and that proved not helpful. So I don't think that I wanted to do that again and get as close as I did to Melbourne and then not get over the line. But I think as well, like I really wanted to enjoy a really long block with Melbourne and try and give myself enough deloads, and knowing that it was my first marathon, make sure that you had enough time to I guess get your training in and a bit of confidence as well. So knowing that, like you said, the weeks were ticking down and I was not running, I was swimming, and I just thought you cannot swim your way to a marathon. Like there is no way. And I could not go and jog a marathon. I think paying $250 to go for a 42-kilometre long run was not worth it. So we'll still be going over to Melbourne, and I'll be going over and cheering on Renee and seeing my family that all live over there. So it'll still be a nice trip, but nonetheless, I would much rather be back over there doing all the running that I was doing months and months ago, and pick a race sometime next year.
Very good. Very good. So in terms of lessons learned, like what have been some of your lessons, I guess, going through this period of time, getting back into running?
It's super funny. I was reflecting, I think I've chatted to Tina so many times about this, and I was thinking, God, hindsight is such a bitch. Like you realise you're going, oh my gosh, like there were so many things, and I'm a physio and I tell people all these things all day, every day, and I just didn't happen to listen to my own advice. But it was 6 years since my last big injury, so I've been very grateful. Like you get a few niggles along the way, but nothing more than a week off, especially when you have a few months. You do have to sit down, and I think as a physio, I think we do this with our own patients, so it's probably only the right thing to do it for yourself. So I just realised I think I was probably burning the candle a little bit at both ends. Like I was training and I absolutely loved my training, so I never wanted to give up any sessions, regardless of how tired I was and those types of things. And I was always often cramming them in before uni, after work, and my days were just super, super, super chock-a-block. So I think at the time I thought it was what a great idea to, run before uni. I'll make use of all the time. I'll go somewhere flat instead of running super hilly, thinking that would change some intensity. And usually I'd get sick, and unfortunately in this case I got injured. So I think it was a kind of a combination of making sure that you kind of check in with the life that's going on outside of your programming, staying in touch with how your body's feeling, but also probably staying on top of the rehab as well. So unfortunately I let that ball drop a little bit too, but that was way before I started to get injured. So unfortunately you can't always chase your tail at the back end of rehab and hope that everything will just pull together. It's quite often a lengthy journey and process to get there.
What was your return to running looking like in terms of the rehab bit? So back into the pool, what else were you doing to get you back to your return to run program?
So we had to change my gym program a little bit. I did realise that I think I'd been doing the same gym program for maybe 2 years, and it was working for me. So, and I liked getting in there. I knew it was going to be 35 to 40 minutes every time I was in there. I never felt super sore. I always felt fresh come training days and those types of things, which going back and doing masters at the moment, we're learning a lot more about programming and looking at people's, everyday lives as to what they do and training loads and those types of things. And at Frontrunner, we see a lot of endurance athletes and in particular triathletes, and quite often you look at their training week and you think, gosh, where are you going to fit some rehab in? So, and the rehab being the gym work. So I'm in the gym twice a week, doing a nice lengthy strength program and making sure on top of that I'm staying on top of some mobility and trigger ball. The trigger ball sits usually in the kitchen somewhere, and then there's one in my room. So it's always in my eyesight. So as soon as you see it, you just think, God, it's 2 minutes of hell, but get it done. A lot of gym stuff, focusing on some hip strengthening, hip mobility, just some lower limb strengthening, conditioning as well, because if you think about it, having had such a long time off, I need to build the capacity kind of everywhere, not just of that ITB and that hip area. Everything's got to make sure that it's being conditioned as well. So just kind of starting from scratch, which has been good. And now I will be going to see Ben for strength programming. And if I get a niggle way sooner, then maybe 6 weeks after you start to feel something.
Fair. And, return to run, you must be very excited about that. So what's perhaps your next week or two looking like if all goes to plan?
Well, hopefully I keep jumping out of bed, because I feel like in winter I usually really struggle to get out of bed most mornings. So to now know that I can go for a run, I usually, as soon as my alarm gets off, whispering out of bed. So this week just looks like the efforts are getting a bit longer. So I did what did I do this morning? 6 by 5 minutes on, 2 minutes off. So I think the next session that I do will be pretty similar, but just a shorter rest period. And then hopefully on Saturday, running on non-consecutive days. Okay. Run on Saturday will be probably very similar, but maybe a couple more efforts. So looking to probably increase to anywhere between 5 and 10 Ks more than what I did last week. And then I think I've got one more week of longer efforts and then can do a 30-minute continuous, which will be so nice, because I feel like, for anyone that hasn't done a return to run, you get into a really nice groove at about 30 seconds before you finish the effort, and then you have to stop and walk. So it takes a lot of discipline to go, no, I'm going to stop this rep here, or I'm going to stop because that's the amount of sets and reps that I need to do. So what helps me is programming in my watch. So you can't do any more than what's prescribed.
Aerobically, how has it felt, Ella, like going from not running to running, even if it's in short intervals?
Well, I still look at my heart rate and it's still crazy high. It doesn't matter what. I don't think it matters. The lowest my heart rate has been is in the pool. So maybe I need to keep a pool session in. But I think I was relatively lucky that I think the pool's kept a little bit of that cardio going, but it definitely is different. But I think, I don't know, I'm not running fast enough or long enough to feel like I get a really big puff up. So I know that if I'm running up a slight little incline, I definitely feel the strain on my chest and my lungs. But yeah, regardless, usually as the course of my rep gets longer, my heart rate seems to still hit that 180, 190. And I just think, God, I thought maybe this would disappear when I came back. But no, she is back in full force.
Fair. Well, no, very excited to see you back running. Hopefully it continues in the right direction. All right, we'll move over to you, Vici. How's your last week been? You're not racing. You didn't race over the weekend, so what's your week been like?
That was my weekend off.
Yeah.
It was actually a really nice week. I felt good. I felt really fresh all week. I have got this funny foot thing that's still kind of coming and going, which is like my heel. Ella, you can give me some advice on this. Free physio advice while we're here. It just seems to pop up occasionally. It isn't bad first thing in the morning, particularly. So I don't think it's plantar fasciitis. It doesn't seem to be bad when I run. It just seems to come on randomly during the day after a run and then go again. It's not getting worse. It's just kind of sometimes there, sometimes not there. Very odd. So I don't know. I don't know what that is, but I did 57 Ks last week. So not massive. I went to see Tim the chiro on Thursday. He invited me to come and play with his new toys.
Okay.
But we
How
didn't
is
get on
his toys?
We did not get onto the toys because we spent too much time on my foot and my hamstring, which was incredibly tight and actually feels a lot better. So anyway, that was good. I'm going back next week to be introduced to the toys. So I will report back on what that entails. I think it entails some sort of foot pod and going for a run around Lake Monger.
Okay.
So
are you doing that this week?
Yes.
Okay.
Why?
I don't know. Just new things pre-Transcend. Don't know. Is that a problem?
I think he just wants me to go for a run around Lake Monger a normal pace, and then he's going to look at my gait and use the data from these pod things to figure out whether what my feet are doing. And I don't really understand it, but anyway, I'm sure it will be fascinating. And we'll be able to provide more information next week. Okay. Anyway, it's always good value going to see Tim. So I enjoyed that this week. And I very much enjoy pain when people just give me a very, very deep massage in my hamstring. So that was lovely as well. What else did I do? I did 4x2 minutes, I think, kind of quicker than threshold, which felt good on Thursday. On Tuesday, then I did a midweek hilly run, and I ran up Oceanic. So I think I've completed my city to surf training now. That's in the bag.
Good.
Yeah.
And also this Saturday.
And Saturday is a little bit of city to surf training as well. Yes.
Yeah.
And I did a couple of strength sessions, went back to my pull-ups, did some pull-ups in the gym yesterday, which I've gone backwards, but there we go. That's what happens. And then yesterday I did a long run, which was great. Felt good and finished with a couple of quicker Ks for about 21K, I think we did, which was nice. And I also got on the Stairmaster as well in the gym. So I had a couple of fails, fails in the gym when I went to go on the Stairmaster. There is only one Stairmaster. And then I went on Saturday to do my strength session and it was free. And I was like, I'm not going to do strength. I'm going to go on the Stairmaster. So I got on it and it's very sweaty work. It's very hard. So yeah, and then I was going to go and do the food shop straight after. I was like, I've got to go home and get changed now. I can't. I can't go to the supermarket like this. So I'm ready for Transcend, ready for City Surf, and that was it.
Very
Just
good.
Another week.
You said pull-ups plural. I thought the goal was to do one pull-up by the end of this year. So you've already achieved one pull-up already.
No. These are assisted pull-ups.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
But we're in the right direction for one unassisted pull-up.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's possibly impossible for me. I think it's going to be really hard. I'm on the assisted pull-up machine, the thingy with the seat thing, whatever you put your knees on, and I'm still using over half my body weight to lift me. Is that right? Is that the right way around?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a long way to go.
Okay.
I've heard. Now, I'm not a physician or a physio or a doctor or of any kind or a PT, but I've heard that like trying to do them eccentrically, like lowering yourself down quite slowly, is a good way to build muscle in order to be able to do them. Because I have I went from not being able to do a pull up to now. I mean, I haven't done one in a very long time, I'll be honest. But when I was playing cricket, I would do them a lot. So yeah, I don't know. Like if you're on the machine, or if you're on just like on the rack, and then kind of jumping up and getting yourself into the chin up or the pull up position, and then lowering yourself, it might be just a different stimulus than the pull up itself, but would also contribute to your strength.
Yes, Ella's nodding as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, also, what way are you doing? A proper like a pull up with your hands? Like, are your hands in like a chin up position, or are they like further out like that?
No, pull up. Yeah,
they're
like
hard.
that.
Pull-ups are way harder than chin-ups. So it's also, I think, like Chris said, I think it's, we try and also target certain parts of the exercise. So you can probably supplement a lot of the pulling kind of actions with like a simple like lat pull down, do like what we call like reverse origin version, or like a seated row, and those types of things to get that concentric, so that muscle contraction. And then like Chris is saying, to also make sure that you've got that eccentric, which is a really important lengthening part of the contraction, which usually if you watch people do a pull-up, they'll be really good at pulling themselves up and then they'll like drop themselves down. So that's the part of the contraction that people almost forget sometimes and is the hardest one to control. So definitely give some of those a go. You could probably just drop a little bit more of the weight, and then it's harder, but you just try and focus on long and slow down, and then stand on the bench to help lift you back up.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for the tips. I know that none of that is related to running at all. It's just a little personal challenge. That we'll see how it goes. But running wise, I feel good. I just need to keep my foot under control, which is just a weird thing.
Last two races, your foot was really sore pre-race. So are we hoping that your foot's still a little bit sore Friday night, and then we're in for a good day on Saturday?
Yeah, that's right.
So go away like for the rest of the week, but on Friday, just let it flare.
Well, I was thinking that I'm not going to be running until about like whatever time you finish, which is going to be like mid-afternoon, early afternoon.
Hopefully
not mid-afternoon then, not mid-afternoon. So we want it to be sore on Saturday morning. That's where we just
fair.
before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Looking forward to it.
But,
sounds good.
I am. I mean, the logistics of it are ridiculous. As you know, the logistics are harder. They're harder than the gosh. I mean, I suppose it isn't actually as logistically challenging as for you, Chris, because you're at least running the whole thing. Where look at you. Whereas
Chris got the easy bit. Yeah, Chris just has to get to the start line and he just runs in one direction.
Yeah.
Whereas we have to go to each aid station by a particular time, and there's one leg where you have to drive for 40 minutes. It's fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I mean, Simon and I had an absolute nightmare last year doing it. I don't think we even made it to leg 4, did we? We just went straight to the finish.
We just gave up. We're like, Dane will be okay. And straight to the finish line. Yeah, it's...
Why? Why did you do that? What was the problem with getting to the third checkpoint?
We didn't read the event booklet. We just...
First mistake.
We just chucked the location where we thought the aid station was into Google Maps and just drove. And then Google just kind of takes you into private property by mistake. So we did a couple of U-turns because we were clearly not where we were supposed to be. Whereas I think the event booklet actually tells you where to go, which unfortunately is the long way, but is the best way to get to the aid stations.
After we encountered the third kid on a swing with a banjo, we decided it was probably better off just going straight to the finish.
I think we encountered a kid on a banjo. We encountered like literally a river a river crossing that didn't feel right to cross, but we did anyway. So it was very good. And I think the Avon descent was on that weekend, so there was a lot of traffic as well.
What? There were two on at the same. They were both on the same time. That's awful planning.
Yes,
because the Avon descent is also very, very hard to navigate.
Very busy. Yeah. No.
Well, yeah, I feel that is a big challenge for this week. As you know, Simon, I've been using Claude to help me plan our journey.
Yep. What time are we waking up?
I'm currently waking up. I think it moved it backwards to 3:45 for me. But I've got to redo it, and I've got it. Honestly, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is just Geraldton all over again.
Yeah. That will be interesting. Well, hopefully we get to the start line in time. Is all I'm saying.
Yes. Well, hopefully, because we are a favourite, so we're our own favourite,
according to us. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe before we get into Chris this week, I'll quickly do my week.
Hang on a minute, Simon. Hang on a minute. I actually really want to know how your week went. Tell us all about your week. I'm really interested.
Thank you for asking, Vici. So last week, I think I was complaining that the back of my knee was sore and I didn't run on that Monday. So I saw a health professional on Tuesday. And thankfully, the health professional was across my screen. So I complained that the back of my knee was hurting or a bit sore. And then I think Tuesday morning it was fine. And then I felt like a fraud going to the physio. Ella, do you want to actually tell me what's wrong with me?
So we had to do a bit of problem solving to test where Simon was sore and why it was sore and what things made it sore. So initially tested his calf and things like that. Obviously, the back of the knee, you've got this interface between your hamstrings and your head of your gastroc that kind of cross over each other. Then obviously you've just got this really big meaty back of your knee. So it's a bit of differentiating, poking and lifting things up. But we cleared his calf. We cleared the general kind of back of the knee area, and then we figured out that with some resisted hammy testing in a few different lengths, his hammy did not like that. So I think he's just got a bit of irritation of the distal tendons of his hammy, and I think just on the background of a lot of kind of changing in training loads, obviously coming back off Herdies and just some high training weeks, low training weeks, doing some hammy work and things, but we probably just needed to make it a little bit more run specific. And yeah, we hopefully have got him now on a good program. I mean, I think I did recommend no hills and sprint work for the next 2 weeks, but he went, oh, yes, Transcend is in there somewhere. And I said, well, as long as we know that it's probably going to get worse before it gets better, we can try and manage it there. So we've given him some rehab to do, and he can explain how the rehab's gone.
Rehab has gone very well. I feel like, it's a different stimulus. And it's just another exercise that my daughter sees in the middle of the night when I come into her bedroom. And I'm like, Daddy's just going to do some elevated, like, glute bridge things. And she's used to it now. But it feels pretty good a week of it anyway. And I've done easy running all of this week for the most part, and that feels pretty good. I did push myself a little bit on Saturday, but not by much because 2 by 8 minutes isn't really a workout. But I did it on Saturday, but I did feel sort of the after effects of the 2 by 8. So, I feel like easy running's fine. I think when I push the pace a little bit, even if it's 4:10s, which is my marathon pace, like I pull up pretty sore from that. So I think I'll just do easy running, make it through to Transcend, and I'm going to ignore the message that I'm seeing on the screen. I'll get through Transcend, and we'll see what the pain is like after that. I'm worried after seeing the course recce video that Shane and Mitch did. there's a couple of technical sections of legs 3 and 4, which
Why
I'm a
did
bit
you
worried
watch
about.
the video?
Why did I watch the video?
Yeah.
No, the video, that video or the Transcend video?
None. I have no idea what this video is. I'm talking about I can only see half of it as well on my screen. I'm talking for listeners. There is a chat within our app that we use to record the podcast, and there is a link that has been posted in it, but I cannot see it all. I don't know what it is. That is what Simon is chuckling about.
That is crazy.
I was just wondering, my question was going to be whether or not Ella has prescribed this particular exercise. But
Unfortunately not, because it requires 2 other men.
Oh, God.
Anyway, I was going to post it on the Warp Instagram yesterday, but I neglected to. So
I think you'll have to now, given that we've talked about it for 5 minutes and with no context.
It's gonna ruin the algorithm again.
Sorry, before you move on, Simon, I want to ask Ella a question. Ella, do you think that it's because Simon introduced strength work and went from like no strength work to a lot of strength work? No, it's not funny. It's like a serious question. Do you think that might have had something to do with it? Maybe it needed to be more gradual, or maybe there should have been some there in the first place, and that it built off of nothing, and then that triggered something.
Oh, I definitely think that could be a big contributing factor. We often quite find that people get given the wrong program at the wrong time, at the wrong point in their programs and things like that. So usually we try and make sure that we, especially as healthcare professionals, we really try and understand obviously what people's demands are outside of running, or what their running demands are and what their running program looks like, and making sure that nothing is too hard for them, or too at a point right before a race and those types of things, where people are more prone to injury and overload. So I definitely think the gradual, it's like my return to run, right? Like it's very slow, it's very simple, you want to enjoy it. Same thing with strength exercises. You shouldn't go from doing a whole new program and not being able to walk the next day. You want to know, like, you've got some awareness in some muscles when you stand up from the chair and those types of things, but you shouldn't be injuring yourself or making yourself really sore that you're like, I'm never doing that program again, and then just toss strength stuff to the side and never do it again.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. And I think also from the running point of view, I went from, I think there was 1 week I didn't run. I went to 20 Ks the following week, and then I went to 73, 85, 95, 93.
My worst nightmare.
So on top of the strength stuff. So look, I think that perhaps was the big contributing factor. And I think when I went straight into sessions, I was overreaching as well, because I would see my paces in the sessions, and although they were like, I don't know, shorter sessions, I would see the pace of my watch and go, oh, that's pretty shit. So I would go a bit fast in the next rep and perhaps push into efforts that were beyond what the session was meant to be. So I think a combination of a couple of different things, I think, contributed to it. I think for me, it's just learning to, listen to the body. I'm somewhat frustrated because like easy running feels easy and I pull up okay, and then just any effort that's a little bit quicker than easy, I pull up sore. So I think that's perhaps the current frustrating thing at the moment. But we'll see how Transcend goes, I think, in terms of potential damage. And then, having to build up from there again, I guess.
It's interesting because I think when we were talking maybe a couple of months back when you first started to kind of have some issues, the pain or the problem was when you were jogging, right? And then when you were running a little faster, it actually felt better, but it seems to have kind of flipped a little bit.
True. Yeah.
Sometimes. But
strange.
Different issues.
And it's so weird. I mean, I think before, like when I would get niggles, and they weren't really niggles, I would be able to take a week off and then just go back to 100K weeks, no issue as well. And I think the frustrating thing right now is I can't do that anymore, and I actually have to gradually get back into it. So I think I said to Tina the other day, like, I'm really appreciating this idea that I'm not as invincible as I thought I was, where if I had a sore leg, I'd take a couple of days off and then I'd just resume back to normal, no issue. But I feel like I can't do that anymore, which is a shame. But I guess that's, me learning and probably getting older as well, not recovering.
I think you've just become normal, like the rest of us.
Yeah. Ella's had to change her clinical notes to say he's normal now.
There's probably some parts of the body that are like more likely to regress quickly back to a pre-running state too, right? Like rather than, like I'm sure, once your body's recovering or you've had a period of rest, then your muscles are like, oh, I don't need to do this anymore. So I'm kind of, I don't know, changing in a way that means I don't need to do it. Whereas if you're constantly loading it, then you're stretching the muscle and the tendons constantly. So they're probably, more likely to respond to that additional load. Whereas going from 100 Ks to 20 to 100, maybe there's, maybe that's where it lies. The problem lies.
Yeah. I think where I'm getting some soreness is when I'm inactive. Like I have an office job. So if I'm sitting on my ass for 8 hours and get up, like that's pretty tough at the moment. So learning to just continually to move. This week, I will take it very easy, knowing what I've got in store on Saturday. But I think post-Transcend we'll be trying to find that happy balance, I suppose, to get back into the swing of things, really.
Ella, do we need to have Simon doing some glute bridges in the car park before his
definitely
run?
Yeah, he should be he could use the back seats. He could use, if you really wanted to get fancy, you could bring a mat or something and do your your elevated bridges from the edge of the car, depending on how high the car is. But I think some of those races can sometimes be really tricky, right? Like in the instances of I need to get on the floor and do some of these exercises, or for me it's like I need to find something to use a wall with a trigger ball. Like I'm not happy to do that on my car, but I will try and do that before I go somewhere and then make sure you got some activation exercises. So I think it just comes down to sometimes the priority, and I think most people think that they're okay, especially in events and those types of things. But I think usually from my own point of view is that I will do those things more than I would like before a race than before training. So I think where you can, the prep will definitely help.
It's going to be like Philly Bowden at the track.
Yeah, just chuck that in AI, Vicky. Add it to the schedule of events on Saturday morning.
I'll ask Claude to factor that in.
Yes, please do.
Yeah. Wake up at 2:30 a.m.
Don't go to bed.
Just stay awake.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the main athlete of this week is Christopher Dean Shaw. How's your training been? It's, I guess, the week before the big dance. So how's your week been?
It was good. In all seriousness, though, I think I am going to be waking up at 2:30 on Saturday morning.
Goodness.
The bus. So I'm catching up. They've set up a bus that goes from Midland Station to the start line for anyone who doesn't know. So and that leaves at 4:40 a.m. So I got to get myself to Midland Station, presumably before that. And then gets you to the start line with a fair bit of time to go before the 6 or 6:15 or whatever time it starts. So week's been good. I did 95 Ks this week. I did 8.5 hours of running. I did 1,200 meters, and feeling really tapered. It's amazing how good your body can feel when you don't have to run 50 Ks on a Saturday or a Sunday. And so the previous week, I think I'd done my long run on a Friday. I did a longer session on the Sunday, but then I ran all 7 days this week. Work was kind to me. Life was kind to me, so I managed to get all my training in. I did a 6 by a K on Tuesday. Now, because I'd kind of started to drop away the elevation a little bit on the week before, I decided, you know what, I'm going to treat myself with a little bit of VO2 work or a little bit of speed, because I hadn't been able to do any in a little while. And so not really knowing where the reps would land, I kind of just went out at kind of 18-minute 5K pace on those K reps, but was pleasantly surprised to run a little quicker than that. So that's good. And given the kind of brevity of that session, I felt like still pretty fresh afterwards. So that was good. I did I kind of didn't have a midweek long run this week, knowing that I'm trying to back the volume off by about 15% or 20%. Wednesday was just a regular hour. Thursday, I think I did might have just done 30 minutes, and then Friday I did a 6 by 1K alternating. So I've done this a few times in this block, just as a threshold kind of gauge to see where I think my threshold's at. Ever since I did the lactate testing at Frontrunner, actually, I've done it a handful of times since then, and just giving me kind of running above and below what I would consider to be LT2 on those reps. And I think coming off of a week, like not a light week, because I still did 115 Ks the week before, but I just didn't have as much elevation in the previous week. So I think my legs felt much fresher, and accordingly, those alternating reps felt pretty good. So pleasantly surprised by that. I think one of the things I've learned through this block is that, and I mean, it happens every marathon block too, but like you kind of sit under this veil of fatigue for such a long time that you forget, what it feels like to run with fresh legs. And I've kind of been worrying that my fitness has been going backwards for like 3 months, or just really stagnated. But the kind of splits on those reps this week, knowing that I'm feeling a little fresher, I'm really happy with them. So that's good. Good indicator of once I've recovered from Transcend, and for whatever I decide to do next. I think Frio is technically the next thing I've got in my book in November. I should be in a good position to run a decent 10K time, so that's good. And then I think I ran an hour Saturday, kind of around the local Bicton and Palmyra Hills, and then 2 hours on Sunday with the community run out at Ellisbrook Valley Reserve with Macca and the double crew and a bunch of others that turned up, which is cool. Got to show a few people like a route that they hadn't run before, which was nice. We kind of ran from the Ellisbrook Valley Reserve car park east toward Victoria Dam, and then got to Victoria Dam, which has got a really nice outlook out there. There's for anyone who's interested, there's a water tap there too, so you can drink from the reservoir. And then we just ran back. So it was relatively uphill on the way out, and then more or less downhill on the way back. So pretty chill run. I think in terms of elevation, I promised 420 meters for this run and 15 kilometers. It was exactly 15 kilometers, but elevation was around 490. So a little bit off, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It was maybe a little more technical than I had remembered it being. So there was some pretty narrow sections on rutted out single track and rocky sections, like where the bush is kind of close in. So that was fun. It's good to get your legs scratched up and your eyes poked out on the way out for a run on a Sunday morning. And the weather was beautiful. So
the weather was beautiful on Sunday.
It was. Yeah.
So obviously an easy week leading into Saturday. Has the movie been booked?
Not yet. I've decided what I'm going to go watch though.
What are you going to go watch? That was going to be my question.
Yeah, so a couple of weeks ago I went and watched The Odyssey, and I was considering going back and watching it again. But because I watched it on IMAX last time, and I was considering going to watch it on just regular extreme screen or whatever crap they have out at Hoyt's. Because there is slight differences between the projection, but instead I'm going to go watch the end of Oak Street, which has also got Anne Hathaway in it. Big fan of Anne Hathaway.
Everyone is,
and it's got Ewan McGregor. So I think more or less everyone's a fan of him too. So it should be good fun. Bit of sci-fi stuff. Dinosaurs, love a few dinosaurs.
Very good. Sounds good.
I've got a bit of a schedule of things to do on Friday, because I've obviously got to go pick up my bib out in Midland somewhere. So I think what I'll do is I'll go to the movies at Midland, go to Hoyt's there, watch. I've never been to the movies at Midland, so we'll find out what that's like. And
dangerous.
Hopefully I've still got the wheels on my car when I get back out. But,
Turns out you're leaving your car at the Midland station on Friday.
I know. Well, yeah, exactly. I'll be sleeping in the car. Now, I've got to get some more gels, so I'll head out to Kalamunda as well while I'm out there, like on that side of town anyway, and pick up some more gels from Vlad. I did message the Bix Kalamunda Instagram page, and Adam got back to me today, and he said, yeah, there's plenty of gels, so don't worry, we're not going to run out of stock. So the dreams that I've been having over the past 2 weeks aren't going to happen by the sounds of it, so that's good. But yeah, and Maddie very kindly found me a receptacle in which to put my my Bix mix.
Okay, I see.
The using the word receptacle was probably not the right word, but.
And then pausing.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what you were going.
No, so because I don't have a crew on Saturday, I'm going to carry everything I need with me, and I don't want to rely on. And I'm sure that the tailwind that's being provided on course is going to be fantastic, but I just haven't used it before, so I'm going to carry my Bix with me. And short of putting it in Glad bags, like I said last episode, Noah Simpson got in touch with me and said that, hey, like he's got this thing from Amazon that he's found that he used at Margaret River. So very happy to receive that from Noah. But I think we found something at Spotlight which was quite similar, which is just cylindrical enough and easy enough to open that it just pours directly into the bottle neck. And I can do that very quickly at an aid station and not waste too much time, hopefully. But, that'll be easy at aid station 1, 2, and 3. But I think once it comes to aid station 4, we'll see where the brain's at and where the function, what is that? What are we talking about?
Motor skills.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What my fine motor skills are like.
I know what you mean. That feeling where you can't do anything with your hands because your fingers are so tired.
Exactly.
And yes,
So whatever I'm gesturing on the screen is probably not suggesting what I was looking for, but no, it's I think I've got more or less everything sorted now. So Friday will be a nice day of relaxing, no work, a movie. I'm going to eat pure rice on and lollies basically and soft drink on Friday. I'm not going to go ice cream.
Controversial.
Yeah. I think through the course of this training block and having run, typically I'd run maybe 3 hours and 15 minutes on a long run on a weekend in a marathon block. Doing that for 5 hours, ice cream does not work on a 5-hour long run. So,
fair.
Yeah, I think I've discovered that. And I should have listened to Gabby a long time ago about, here we are. I'm learning.
Yeah.
That's fun. So what are you locking in terms of gear? What are you wearing?
I really want to go all white kit. There's this temptation to go completely white, white hat, white shirt, white shorts, white socks, white shoes, white vest. But in the interest of not spending too much money, to be honest, like I'd have to invest in at least 5 of those things to make it all white. So
just all Kmart.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, do you own white shorts?
I actually do, Vicky. I haven't worn them yet. They're not actually white. They're very, very light grey. I bought some brand new Lululemon Fast and Free shorts a little while ago. Haven't worn them just yet, but they're probably a little bit too short. And because I've got these kind of thunder thighs, like that would be great. That would be good for me for like 90 minutes, but they would not be great for me for 8 hours. So I feel like I'd end up in a similar position to Nancy without the same
Body
genitalia to go around. Yeah.
I feel like with this run, it's probably shorts are after shoes. Shorts the most important thing to get right.
Yeah, 100%. And I've got a pair of Lululemon shorts that I do wear a lot, but they're an 8-inch short inseam versus like a 5-inch inseam, and I think just that 5-inch just allows things to creep up a little bit too much. But the 8 inches just hangs low enough that I can everything stays out of the way.
Just breathe.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing you're lubing everything up in that area anyway. So
that's a good point. Actually, that's the thing I haven't factored
Vaseline.
in is whether or not I need to bring more Vaseline with me.
Definitely.
I would.
yeah.
I'm going to be the guy with a Glad bag of like clear liquid, just scooping it out and then, applying it to myself in a public setting. So
What did we call it? A receptacle?
Yeah.
A receptacle of lube.
Bring another one and pop some Vaseline in it.
I know.
Hopefully you don't get confused
In a test
between the two.
Yeah. As long as I don't start eating it like out of like peanut butter out of a jar or something, then I think I'll be okay. Yeah.
The scenes at Station 4. Okay, no, all the best, mate, because I am looking forward to it. I think if we can get the logistics right, Vicky, hopefully we do see Chris a couple of times.
I'm going to need to brief Claude on this.
We just need to factor in an 8-hour 65k trail runner into the mix, and then hopefully
I'll
stations
prompt
at
that
time.
tomorrow. I think, Chris, you are. I don't want to jinx anything, but I think you are absolutely deserved of that spot on the top 10. Is it top 10?
Yeah, I think so.
Ones to watch. And I don't think it matters that you've got a dash next to the UTMB and the whatever the other one was.
Doesn't matter.
I think you're fit, really fit, and I'm excited to see what you do.
Thanks, Vicky. I'm hoping that Shane knows something that I don't know about myself. So
you shared a screenshot of you completing a questionnaire. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So, what was that?
So, the Transcend crew sent out a questionnaire to people. Well, initially it mistakenly went out to everybody. Well, not everybody, but I think a lot of people that it maybe wasn't supposed to go to. And it was a questionnaire about just learning all about you, so that if the commentary team on the day see you come through on the feed, they want to be able to talk about you and understand a bit about your background and stuff. So, there's going to be a good commentary team that Shane and his team have put together. So, and I think the Peak Pursuits crew are also covering it in some way. So,
the Warp crew as well,
and the Warp crew, through a series of voice memos and hopefully a subsequent podcast recording. I had to complete these things, and then an email came out and said, "Hey, we sent that to too many people. If you've received it, you've already completed it. It's fine. Don't worry about it." And I was like, "Okay, I won't need to complete it." And then I got it, and I got it again, and I was like, "Okay, I maybe they do want me to do it." And I was like, "It's just because I'm, doing the podcast and stuff." So I assume that that's why they've got me in there, just so they can make fun of me on the feed. But then I saw that list come out, and I initially saw the female list come out, and I thought it was great that Vic Hun was on there, which we were very happy for her. But then I think when I turned up on Sunday morning, I hadn't opened Instagram yet, and Macca mentioned to me that I was on the list, and I was like, "What?" And then I subsequently got about 10 different messages from people saying, "Oh, what's all this about?" Or just,
"Is this a mistake?"
Yeah, people laughing, or people genuinely applauding, which was nice.
Yeah.
But it's well, hopefully I can live up to your expectations, Vicky, at least, and do the Warp team proud, and hopefully come in somewhere under 8 hours would be great.
Oh, and I will also mention that Big Kev was talking about you the other day and comparing his training and your training during this block, which was an amusing conversation, because he acknowledged that he had done no training whatsoever for Transcend, other than the hill that we were running at, which was the hill at the top end of Scarborough. That he said, "This is my training. This is my hill training," versus your however much elevation you've been doing every week. So he was admiring your commitment and consistency from afar.
Very
so
nice.
I'm not the only one.
No, I got a lovely message from Nancy Shaw today too, which was which was nice. So she had a similar sentiment to you, Vicky. So yeah, fingers crossed. I am concerned that the forecast is a little warmer than I was hoping for, to be honest. I was hoping it would be like 12 or 15 degrees and pissing with rain, but it will be pissing with rain, but it's likely to be in the low 20s, I think, as a max. So maybe it's not super warm, but I mean, there are going to be parts of the course that will be relatively exposed. So I'll be in the sun for a bit. So tactically, the white kit actually makes a bit of sense that I'll be able to stay a little bit cooler. I don't know. I think Eggy sent me a picture of Jim Warmsy, like with like the old like homemade like shirt with like cut out holes on it. I don't know if I could quite pull it off because I'll end up looking like a polka dot handkerchief by the end of the day. But yeah, I think the white kit makes sense, and then just I'll have to take on a bit more sodium and water. So I'll bring a third flask with me, which I wasn't anticipating bringing. I'll bring that in my belt, and that will just have water in it, and then I'll probably take on a bit more sodium than I have been taking on my training runs because it's been quite cold. I haven't been sweating as much, so I haven't needed to, but I think I'll treat it a bit like I did for Gold Coast Marathon, where I knew that it was going to be humid. So
yeah, good.
I think I won't probably dose up, like pre-dose quite as much as I was for that kind of high intense effort, but I'll just make sure that I'm going to have, there's going to be sodium in the gels that I'm taking on, so that I can factor that in. But it might just mean once every couple of hours, just having an extra dose just to kind of shop things up.
Yeah.
And I actually, one of the things I took from your chat with Gabby, Simon, was like the pre-hydration. I have been doing that a fair bit in my long run. So I'd get up, 2 hours before, and I'd have drink a substantial amount of water that has sodium, and it'd also have carb mix. So it was like a final carb load too. And yeah, that's been working, I think, pretty well because I haven't had any cramp issues, and I've been running close to 5 hours sometimes. So it's got to be okay.
I think knowing the start last year, you and I were there, and how hype that start is, I think the biggest thing will be to try and get out conservatively, right? Because I think it would be very easy to go out 4-minute Ks based on that epic start. So I reckon as long as you start out conservative, I think, it seems like everyone seems to fade a little bit once they hit into that third, fourth station. So I think is the goal for you to try and be conservative and hopefully finish strong towards the end?
Yeah, I think so. Like I'm quite confident, or aerobically, this is not going to be like a difficult thing for me to do. I think from a muscular point of view, I think that's the failure in the muscles is going to happen much earlier than like my heart or lungs are going to give out. So I think it's going to be difficult not to go out at like 4:30s or whatever reasonable pace. It feels easy at the start. You're running in the dark along the river, and it's in the water. It's very fun, and I'll have to keep in mind that some of these people that are going out and running hard are actually, while I think I might be fitter than them if I know who they are, or if I look at them and think I should be beating this guy or girl, I will be aware that they're probably just running a relay leg and not the whole thing. So it's important not to compare myself to other people. It's just about trying to, like you said, maintain an effort level that I know that I can sustain for 8 hours. or hope I can anyway. Yeah.
Fair. Alrighty, well, let's have a look at who you're going to be up against at the start line. So we'll see. On the elite list in the men's, we've got Charles Hamilton, we've got Billy Curtis, we've got Ben Leeson, we've got Bryce Turvey, we've got Federico Crivara, we've got Mitchell Clark, Justin Hill, Sam Ludovic, we've got Macca. Have you spoken to Macca at all in terms of like his plans and what his expectations are?
Yeah. So Mac is going to be well ahead of me. I'll put it that way. He'll be probably over an hour ahead of me, probably closer to 90 minutes. But he's got his like race plan locked in. He's all set to go. Funnily enough, Macca doesn't have an ITRA or a UTM index either, and he's attempted an FKT. So on the Bibbulmun track. So yeah, I think Macca's is looking pretty fit. I mean, he ran a very good marathon at Gold Coast, and while Gold Coast is dead flat, I mean, he obviously ran 1,000 kilometers earlier in the year in 10 days. So and with hills across that too. So he's looking like an absolute machine at the moment. And judging by how much difficulty he had putting the shed together on the weekend, I'm sure he's set out to he's vented his frustrations, and now he's going to go out there and absolutely whack this race. So yeah, it's good.
Sounds good. And then we're looking at the women's elite start. We've got Holly Ranson, we've got Anna McKenna, Christy Laurie, Ariane Houston, we've got Vic Hun, we've got Annika Lenny, Britt Stokes, Isabel Trail. What a fitting name, Isabel Trail. Elizabeth Gaddy, Kelly Emerson, and Claudia Seke as well. So lots of very familiar faces, but also a stacked field across the men's and women's.
While you're there, sorry, Si, in terms of Holly Ranson, so she ran the Barradorf, the Ultra Series Barradorf run on the weekend, which is 120 Ks, and she won that, I think, outright. So she won that in 7 hours and something. So crazy. But yeah, coming into being one of the kind of elite names on a 65K race, knowing that you've run a 120K race and won it the week before, it's certainly going to make it interesting to see like how Holly
fares,
or how everyone else matches up against Holly in that race, because it might even the playing field a little bit.
Amazing stuff there. We'll turn our attention to the 40K. So the 40K elite list, we've got Ben Burgess, we've got Joel Gray, we've got Luke Hutchison, we've got Ali Wilcox, we've got Michael Edgar, we've got Jimmy Pritchard and Michael Laurie. And in the women's, we've got Katina von Elst-Noelsteed, we've got Petra Georgian, Abby Watson, Erin Rogers, Jerry Viros, Annalie Martinovic, and Abby Dixon. So hotly contested 40K race as well. I feel like, Vicky, we've not really formally announced our team heading into the 65 team relay. Did you want to just reveal to everyone who our team is?
By their nicknames, please.
By their nicknames, yeah.
Yes.
Maybe we don't even reveal the real names. It's just nicknames, and then people can just guess who that is.
Okay. So we have had some team changes. Simon always does this, throw me under the bus. Okay, we've had some team changes. So we did have a couple of team members that were unable to make the team. So we have got the absolute weapon that we've already mentioned today, Nancy Chafe Vulva Shaw on leg one. And then we've got Bryan the Jaeger King Bork, who bought me a miniature bottle of Jaeger last week at what was it called? The Backroads. Yeah. And I was thinking I would bring that along to possibly have at the finish line, maybe just a sip, and then I've got to drive home. So maybe I won't do that. Let's grab that.
We'll just drink it at the start, and then by the time you get to the finish, you'll be sober.
That's true. I will have it at the start. Me and Bryan are going to be hanging out for a while, so yeah, we could have it earlier in the day. It'd be fun. Okay. We've got Simon allergic to hills fam, and then we've got he's on leg 3, and then we've got Simon don't drug test me Kip fam on leg 4. Totally different person. They don't look alike at all. No. They're going to be wearing different outfits. One's going to be wearing black. The other one's going to be wearing white.
Okay.
Completely.
Sounds good.
Complete outfit. No, we haven't got time for an outfit change. Actually, scrap that. And then Vicky, I'm going on an adventure, Richardson, on leg 5, which I think everyone knew because we've already talked about it. But yeah, that is the team. So yeah, I mean, I hadn't seen the other teams that we were up against, but I am thinking that we have very little to no chance of being anywhere near the top five.
No, I was having a look at the start list and paying close attention to the teams. We're not going to be up there. I mean, there's a chance that you'll get Queen on the Mountain. You never know.
There isn't. I think isn't that segment about 3.5K or something?
Yes.
And the time, Hannah Paget ran 18:15.
Yeah.
And
what a weapon, huh?
I know. I can't find the details of this. I was having a look.
I don't know the segment. I think it is a Strava segment that we can search, but it's the highest peak of the course.
Yeah.
Is what I've heard.
Yeah, and I mean...
and if Craigo did it in 16:42 last year, it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
3K.
Yeah.
A 3K climb.
Yeah.
No, my goal is to not walk.
Yeah, okay.
Shit, okay. So the 2025 time was 22:06 for the women. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So Hannah was 4 minutes faster than that in 2022. Shit, yeah, Hannah. Good on you.
That's amazing.
Very good.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, looking at some of the team relay, I was paying close attention to what teams were out there. So we've got Bunbury Pub Runners, in which Hannah does feature in that team. I think Hannah's been quiet about going to Transcend and being on a leg. We've got a rival podcast team in Low Ceiling Athletics fielding a team. We've got Joel Lambert joining a double team from last year's crap team that taking part. We've got Herdsman Harriers. I think they've got a couple of teams, but one of the team members is Josh Tighe, which is problematic. He does have a 65K entry as well as a team. So I actually don't know what Josh is doing, but if he's in the team one, I don't think we've got much of a chance. And then Frontrunner is fielding a team, and Ollie Wright is one of the leg members as well. So I think we've got some very quick teams that we're up against. And then in terms of overview of the legs, leg 1 is well younger to Avon Ridge State Park. So that's 12.3 Ks and 533 meters of elevation. I think what's the key thing from there, Chris? It's like that climb on the
there's from memory. There's a very steep climb that you kind of it's just such a I have so fleeting memories of it, but there is an exceptionally steep climb that you have to climb more or less on your hands and knees, up by the waterfall, and it's muddy and it's slippery. It's very fun, but there is a steep climb before that, and once you get to the top, the view is incredible because by that time you get to the top, the sun is up, and you've got this incredible view over the Swan Valley and beyond. And that's where I got lost last year because I was enjoying the view too much and I wasn't focusing where I was supposed to be going, and I just kept running straight for a few hundred meters and realized quickly that there was no one behind me. So just pay attention to where the signs are. There's plenty of them. I just wasn't doing my best to pay attention to it. So yeah, besides that climb, the first climb and then that climb up the waterfall, the rest of it is good fun. There's some steep descents, steep descent over rocks. But yeah, I mean, it's some incredible scenery in that first leg. So yeah, whoever's running that will be looking forward to it.
Yep. And then leg 2 is the mudslide, which last year wasn't too bad because I think there was a lot of heavy rain in the weeks leading up to it. But then maybe the last week or two, it was quite dry. So the mudslide wasn't much of a mudslide. But we are getting some rain this week. So leg 2 should be interesting there. I think leg 3 is the Peruna Sanctuary section. So there's some steps installed that will break the momentum for a bit. I was looking at leg 4. There's like a goat track that looks very problematic for my knees. Looking at some of the footage from Shane. So I reckon leg 4 is going to be my problem area, Ella, when I go see you after Transcend. I feel like that's the exact moment where it's going to hurt.
Can we strap a GoPro onto you?
You know what? I brought an action camera last year for my leg, so I might wear it this weekend. So I can show you the exact moment where it hurts. And then leg 5 obviously has the King on the Mountain, Queen on the Mountain section. So Vicky's going to take that one home. So yeah, no, looking forward to it. I can't believe it's been a year since we did Transcend, Chris, and now we're back for more.
Yeah, sick. Can't wait. It's going to be such a good event, both at the top of the field and, just the weather's looking really good. Like we are going to get, I think, a little bit of rain, but maybe it won't be till later in the afternoon. And yeah, it's going to be a touch warm, but like as far as days go, you'd probably rather it to be a touch warm than be just absolutely drenched all day. It's going to make the finishing area a lot of fun having a beer in the sun. So I think we enjoyed a nice beer last year. Ritto was there with her kids doing bombies down the hill. It's a great day out, and kudos to the guys for putting it together for another year. I think, what is this, their 6th year or 7th year? I can't remember.
6th year, I think. Yeah.
So awesome stuff, shaping up to be like the premier trail event in WA for sure.
Yeah, wicked. All right, well, let's move on to Christmas Island Marathon. Take it away, Chris.
Yeah, so as listeners will remember, last week I went on a full diatribe about spearfishing, bird watching, and scuba diving about Christmas Island last week, and here we are. I actually got in the week. I completely forgot that it was on, and neglected to message Ritto and wish her all the best because she was up there racing this on the weekend, and it turns out that we had there's basically a marathon, a half marathon. You can run that in the teams. It starts at the top of the island and you make your way down. Now, overall placings, we had Yusheng Ni, a man from Beijing, China. He ran 3 hours and 16 minutes in the marathon, followed closely by our good friend and fourth host of the show, unofficially, Ash Ritto Ritson. She runs 3:18:23. And then I guess you'd call him a celebrity in the WA running scene, Bryan Lip. He's Mr. Worldwide. He ran 3:33 for third. I think there was only like 24 runners in the marathon, so I'm not sure if this is split up into men's and women's fields, but given how oppressively humid and warm it is there, I think these times are extremely fast from these three. So congratulations to a lot of you. The marathon relay was taken out Mad Dog and the Runts in 3:02, so that's absolutely moving. Formula Run come in second at 3:10, and then the Chalkies 2.0 in 3:14. So my brother was driving the van, basically carrying the teachers or the Chalkies. A Chalky is I don't know if it's a derogatory term. It's a term for teachers, so because they use chalk. And basically he was the driver. So he actually got to witness Ritto at the front of the race for a lot of it, which was pretty cool because they did finish around similar times. So, good to see. I think from what I understand, Ritto's really enjoying all the conspiracy theories coming out of Christmas Island at the moment. Apparently some submarines off the coast somewhere. My brother told me some stuff about SpaceX this morning, so yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on. There's an old casino up on the island that I probably shouldn't say too much about, but basically it was in operation in the 80s or the 90s, and like it was a way of increasing the tourism from like mainland, like from surrounding like Asian countries, China, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, whatnot. Basically, had this idea to create like a casino island, a bit like Macau, exactly. So yeah, it unfortunately didn't work out all that well. But the casino is still there. And when I was out there in 2019, we did drive out to that side of the island and had a look at it. It's completely overgrown. It's a bit like I don't know. You look at The Walking Dead or 28 years later, like you see society, what it would look like in 30 years' time if nature just took over. That's exactly what the casino looks like. But there are still security cameras and stuff there. So everything inside the casinos is still fully functional. And I have heard rumors of people going and visiting inside of the casino of late. And I won't say much more than that because it'll get me into lots of trouble. But it's a very, very interesting place. So as Ritto will attest to. Like, yeah, it's worth the trip. It's a difficult place to get to, but it's an incredible place with lots of history, and yeah, naturally, some natural wonders that you probably can't find anywhere else in Australia, to be honest. So, I've just gone on a complete sideways thing there. I haven't gone through the half marathon results yet.
No, we like that. I'm waiting for the fish chat.
Oh, the fish chat. I when I was up there in 2019, I went for a fish with Aidan and his good mate who took me out on a boat. His name was Swarty. I don't know what Swarty means, if his last name was Swart or if it's just there was something else going on. But he took us out for a fish. We went and caught some. We caught some wahoo. It doesn't sound like a real name, but that's the name of the fish. It's a bit like a Spanish mackerel. It's long. It's got sharp teeth. It's a great sports fish, but it also tastes delicious. So we were out trolling for those. But after we caught the fish, we skinned the frames, and Swarty took us to a place called, what the locals call the GT farm. GT is short for giant trevally. Giant trevally is obviously a species of trevally, but it grows to roughly 40 or 45 kilos at its biggest size. And so, like, there's actually a really good David Attenborough documentary on it, where you might have seen the clips of it on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, where you see the giant trevally jumping out of the water and eating birds. These are the fish that we're talking about. So, basically, there's this massive population of giant trevally in this particular location on the island, and the reason why there's this giant population of them there is because people have been taking their boats there for the past 50 or 60 years and just dropping their fish frames over the side. And so the fish have figured out that this is basically like feeding time. They're like dogs. And you hang this fish frame, and this fish frame is 90 centimeters or a meter long. It's a big fish. You hang it over the side of the boat. You slap it on the water, and then before you know it, you're engulfed by a dozen giant trevally. And not only are there giant trevally there are bronze whaler sharks, lemon sharks. And the crazy thing is that the giant trevally are actually hip and shouldering the sharks out of the way, they're that strong. So, it's an incredible experience and something I'll never forget. But let's go into the half marathon results.
Nice segue.
Look,
that's the one, Ella. Yeah, picture of that.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that was so smooth. Straight in there.
Absolutely seamless. But yeah, maybe I'll post some fish content on the Warp Instagram a little bit later, including the exercises with 3 men that Simon's been doing this week in his rehab. So Chris Bray ran 1:36 flat in the half marathon, which is very quick. Yanis Malis, so a nice Greek name there, 1:49.03, and then Kira Brownsy in 2:09.13 wraps out the results. An interesting thing about this event, and kind of Bryan has been a proponent for this event the last couple of years. There's this group of runners. I can't remember what they're called. Bryan's probably going to recap that with us shortly, but there's participants from all over the world, and there's these kind of completionist dudes and girls who are going around the world and trying to run a marathon in every country or in every region or something. I can't remember what they call themselves, but there was a bunch of them there at Christmas Island over the weekend, and a whole bunch of them are now going on to Cocos Island Marathon on Wednesday that Bryan has actually organised this year as the inaugural event. So, Simon, I believe you've queued up a nice recap from Bryan and Ritto. Is that correct?
Yep.
Here we go. So let's listen to it.
So everybody, we are here at the Christmas Island Marathon. I've got Ash Ritson and Bryan Lip here. G'day, Ash. How are you?
Yeah, great. Thanks, Bryan.
And so we've just finished the Christmas Island Marathon. What do you think, Ash? First time here?
Yeah, first time at Christmas Island. This place is like another world. It's absolutely fascinating. Just the landscape and the people as well. The people here have just been amazing. The whole crew that put on the marathon, it's an awesome place, that's for sure.
Great. And so you arrived here on what day, and how long are you staying for?
I got here on Friday, so here for 3 days. So just managed to squeeze a good tourist day in yesterday, and we got out to the blowholes, and that was just fascinating to watch everything happening down there along the cliff face. I think I might get a few questions asked when we leave by the federal police, because they tried to have a good look at the detention centre and a few other weird things that seem to be happening up here. I feel like there's a bit of a Area 51 vibe going on. But yeah, and then fly back out on Monday.
Great. And then so tell us about the race. So you had the bib pickup was on Friday with a carb load dinner. Now this race is like $40 Aussie to do, which is crazy. The most expensive thing's getting here. So tell us a little about how you plan to get here, how much it cost you, and then what the carb load dinner was like, the bib pickup, and tell us about the start of the race and how you went.
Yeah, $40, and that includes your race t-shirt, your race cap, your carb dinner. We just had a sausage sizzle and a can of Solo, which was absolutely delicious. And that's all included in your $40 entry fee. So
and your medal.
Oh yeah, my medal. Yeah. The flights up here, I booked them ages ago, and it was about $1,200 to fly up. And then we're just staying at the Christmas Island apartments, which I think is about $200 a night. So yeah, it's worth the trip though.
And so the start of the race this morning was 5 a.m. and I think there was buses which take us up, but you rented a car as well. So how was the start of the race? How'd you feel? And then what do you think of the heat, the humidity, the terrain, and overall, what do you thought of the race and how you performed relative to, I guess, you did Bunbury, you paced at Bunbury, you did Bibra in a 2:57, you did Busso in a 2:57 as well. So tell us about this race. What do you think?
Yeah, well, my favourite part about this race is the vibe. It's just so chilled out. I love the timing system is literally just a couple of stopwatches that hopefully you get remembered to be pressed every now and then. The start line, just cruisy, just drive up to the start, take off in the dark. You're in the dark for about an hour, and it's quite you're on a bit of off-road through some trails, bit rocky and that sort of thing.
Bit of a wrong turn.
Oh yeah, a little wrong turn at the start, just following the person in front of me, and then got yelled at and managed to get back on course, which was lucky. So adds to the fun. And then, when the sun comes up, it's just unreal. You're just running through this thick jungle, and it's absolutely fascinating. And of course, you've just got the red crabs just crawling around, and then the big, huge robber crabs, which are bigger than a dinner plate. They're just massive, and they're just all cruising around, hanging out. There's birds making real weird noises in the jungle as well. So it's really cool. And another cool thing about this race is they have a team marathon. So where I was in the race, there was
team relay,
team relay, and so the cars are just driving along, dropping their runners, and then they'll do a 2K sprint, and then they'll trade in with the next runner, and they're all yelling at each other and yelling at us, and it was so much fun to be up running around with those guys as well. And then I ended up going with my road race shoes. Which
do you think that was a good decision?
Yeah, I'm happy about that. There was a couple of sections where it was real slippery, especially they have the mats across they've got cattle grids so that the crabs can go under them, and then they put a rubber mat to the side of it that you can walk over, and they got me a couple of times. They're real slippery once you get a bit of phosphate dust on them. So, but other than that, I'm stoked I went with my road shoes, especially for that last 14 Ks. Yeah. You're just on bitumen, so it was so nice just to have that. But that last 8 kilometres was just so hot. I think my heart rate was about 170, and I thought I was jogging along, and it was just hard and hot.
And there was that hill as well. It's just oh my god, what's this hill?
Yeah, is it 500 metres of downhill down this bitumen road over about a K? It's so steep, and so your quads are just you just give up at that point. You just know that they're going to be completely smoked, and just worry about that tomorrow.
And then so there was you finished second overall, first in the women's category with a 3:18, and I think the first person was a 3:16. So how do you think? Did you see the other competitor there in the distance? Did you try and chase them down, or you just kind of ran your own race, or what was your
I think
plan?
he was just taking it easy. He was just jogging along, taking a few snaps of the crabs most of the time. We had a little bit of a chat, but I think he's an amazing marathon runner. So he got to about 5Ks to go and just sprinted off and just cruised in through the last 5Ks.
Wow. Okay. Great. And so what's your next race plan? Any plans coming up? Ritto?
The biggest one is the 7 to 7 run for Alia, which is at the end of the year. And then maybe, the Mighty Jarrah in a couple of weeks. What about you, Brian? What have you got next?
Well, we got the Cocos Island Marathon, so we had a few crazies over here. We have 6 of the top 10 marathoners in terms of countries run coming along to it, and 8 of the top 15. So that's Cocos on Wednesday, and then we're all heading over to Barossa to do the Barossa Valley Marathon next Sunday. And then finishing off with Sydney, so 6 marathons this month. So that's the plan. Christ. But are you going to be doing Busso next year?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. And Buns as well?
Yeah, of course. It's on the doorstep.
Totally, yeah. So for folks who don't know, Busso Mara sells out very, very quickly, 1st of November. So if you do want to go and do Busso, go and register 1 November and we might see you all down there. And are you going to go for a PB in Busso?
I don't know.
It's a nice short, sharp course, 42.15. So maybe certified this next year. So we'll see.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were talking about certifying it and maybe having some good prize money.
Oh, wow.
So maybe. We'll see how it goes. Okay, over and out from Chrissy Island. We hope maybe some of the listeners will come over to Chrissy next year. Go ahead and book your flights and, maybe we'll see you there as well, and maybe Cocos will be on as well. So over and out, and cheers. Any last words, Ritto?
No, just definitely put this on your list. Come and do it. Come and give it a go. It's awesome. You've got to come.
Awesome. Cheers. See you, everybody.
It's Bryan and Ritto.
Fuck, that was better research than 90% of our episodes, I reckon.
I feel I should step down and hand over the microphone to Bryan.
Me too.
After my poor effort at an interview the other week, where you could
just
barely
the
hear us.
research, just pulling up Ritto's times out of thin
Nailed
air.
it.
An encyclopedic knowledge of the opening times for registrations.
I didn't even know what's happening next week.
Yeah, Bryan, that's incredible. Yeah, really appreciative of that, Bryan and Ritto, to be able to cover that for us, because it's obviously a very hard place to get to, and a place that not many people know about. So hopefully, over the past couple of weeks, we've done our best to raise the profile a bit of a place very far west of Western Australia.
Thanks, Chris. All right, well, let's move on to somewhere local. We've got the WAMC Cyril Norman Lake Gwelup Fun Run, Vici.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Back down to earth. So yes, this one was on yesterday. There was a 5K and a 10K. So the 5K was won for the females, Janelle Consolis in 1920. Olivia Hildebrandt was second in 1959, and Katja Anderson was third in 2034. And for the men, Jordan Dane was first in 1821, followed by Owen Morris in 1840 and Charles Roux in 1912. And then for the 10K, the females was taken out by a name that I recognise, actually, Marley Kleinhaus in 43:23. Claudia Secche, who has been out on the trails with you, I think recently, Chris, was second in 44:38. And Alison Devereaux was third in 44:58. For the males, Liam Fury was first in 35:39, followed by Piero Moraro in 36:32, and Liam Phelps rounded out the podium for the men in 36:48. Is Claudia running Transcend?
She's doing this. She's doing the 65. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Awesome.
To be honest, I think, she's a weapon, and I think, I don't know if she was on that list of.
She is.
Yeah, she's on that list. Yes, and very worthy. She is an absolute gun, and if anyone's been putting in training, I mean, her vert and her kind of time on feet each week makes me shrivel away. She's been putting an incredible amount of work. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how she goes. I believe Claudia is actually a Team Tina athlete. I didn't know that until I saw the vest on the weekend. It's cool. So, yeah, good luck. All the best. Good. Congratulations, everyone, on the weekend at Gwelup.
All right, upcoming events, Chris.
So, yeah, obviously we've got Transcend this weekend. There's no two ways about that. But before that, we've got the Cocos Keeling Islands Marathon on Wednesday. I know it's a strange day, but I think it coincides with the flight times from Christmas Island to Cocos. So I think there's a flight on the Monday or the Tuesday, I can't remember. And so, yeah, there'll be a bunch of these people who are the completionists going over there to run Cocos Island, and we'll get a very different experience from what they had on Christmas that you can go back and listen to on last week's episode where I described the geography and general topography of those two islands and how different they are. There's the Perth 32 on the 23rd of August, so they're on the Sunday. That's a 10K and the 32K. There's the Soul Runners Trailblaze Front Run at Wollongong Regional Park on the 29th of August. And then I guess what we might call Vici's race, the City to Surf, on Sunday, 30th of August, where you can run a 4K walk, run or roll in 4K or the 12K. So iconic race. I don't know if HBF probably has more participants now than it does the City to Surf, but yeah, I guess one of those iconic races that's been around in Perth for a very long time, and yeah, is still iconic in some ways. But hopefully, we see some really fast times this year.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah. I mean, Vici says it's going to be easy.
No, I didn't. I don't think I said that.
No, is that not what you sort of alluded to last week?
I just
Oceanic Drive's easy. Underwood Avenue's easy. Malcolm Street, it's at the start. So, yeah, no one really cares about the start. That's what you said last week.
I think the hills are maybe overrated, as in overestimated. I just think it's not. We shouldn't be scared of it. I think
Embrace
it's okay. Like Underwood, they've all got a bit of spice to them, but they're over quite quickly, and then you get a downhill. It's great.
Exactly. I mean, there's only really 3 of them, and they look a lot scarier from the top than they do from the bottom. So just go and have fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Awesome. All right, Vicky's verbalisation. You've got a couple of things there.
I do. We've added to this since we started. So the first one, I didn't think we could go through the episode without mentioning, for those that weren't aware, we did open the women's WA Women's Track Night last week, and on Thursday, entries opened at 9 a.m. and we sold out of the 5K event within 12 hours. So that was super exciting, and I'm really, really, really glad to see that so many people, listeners, and other names that we've not come across before have entered and keen to give it a go. What we have done is gone through we asked everyone to input their estimated finish times to help us with our run sheet and schedule for the event, and we have we'd given ourselves a good chunk of buffer time, and now we've got those estimated times in. We have managed to reschedule things so that we have time for another race. So we are opening entries again for one more race. We're opening those entries at 9 a.m. on Wednesday. So there will be no more after this. We won't be reopening entries again. We won't put on more than 5K races during that evening. So really exciting. There are still entries available in the juniors race, which is a 1K for ages 12 to 15. So we'd love to see lots of people down there, and more information to come. In other news, I saw that there is a new 5K on the block that is coming up in December. So I think that Josh Tighe and Vlad Ixel are behind this. So Vlad of Bix Nutrition fame. It is a 2.5K loop off John Sanders Drive, and it is a graded format. So they have different waves starting from a 30-minute plus 5K all the way through to those that are going to aim to run sub 17. So that event is coming up on the 6th of December. I haven't seen any socials about it just yet, but I'm sure they're coming. But I have seen an entry link. So we'll perhaps pop that in our show notes. But yeah, that sounds like a really cool event. And I'm sure there'll be more information to come on it.
Awesome. Is that like, to your knowledge, Vicky, is that closed roads kind of thing or footpath?
Yeah, a footpath. Yeah, not closed roads, I don't think. I think it's footpath.
Yeah, cool.
That's my understanding. Yeah.
Exciting.
There wasn't too much information on it, to be honest, on the link that I saw. It was just an entry link. But yeah, sounds pretty cool. So that's good.
That is,
a nice little 5K hit out at the end of the year, which that could be my 5K PB attempt were I not. Yes, were I not on holiday. So it won't be, but
change your flights.
No can do, I'm afraid. So no, not for me, but for lots of other people, I'm sure will enjoy that one. And then I will do a bit of a call out as well. So the Perth Running Festival is looking for pacers the 11th of October. That's right, isn't it? It isn't written down. Yep. The 11th of October, Perth Running Festival. They are looking for pacers for the marathon and the half marathon. So if you are interested and can comfortably run a 3 hour, 3:15, 4 hour, 4:30 or 5 hours for the marathon, gosh, lots of pacer jobs there going, or a 90-minute pacer for the half. We will put these in the show notes as well, but it's the WA Marathon Club that are on the hunt for some helpful people to go and run that and help some other people to PBs. Anything to add, Simon, on that one?
No, other than I will be the 1 hour 45 half pacer with my third favourite physio alongside me. So that's me. I'm doing the Perth Running Festival, pacing the half, 1:45.
Yeah.
Excellent.
The club would be very appreciative of anybody to help out, because it obviously is a very big event, but due to unforeseen circumstances, lots of runners been able to pull out. And it's a difficult time of year, right? Like, people have got plans for Melbourne, they've got plans for Sydney. So I appreciate that, not everyone wants to run a marathon, but if you want a free ticket and have some fun, shits and giggles on the Kwinana Freeway, by all means, put your hand in.
It would be fun.
2 years in a row. It's great fun.
Yeah, I think it would be fun. I just think, and I'm not going to commit because I feel like I've got a bit too much on my plate in those 2 weeks. So probably
what do you
not.
have on?
No, no, just the small matter of an event to
just
post.
On.
Yes, so I'm not gonna give myself more things to do. My last verbalisation is didn't quite make the weapons list, but I wanted to give a new listener, a shout out who was very excited to message me yesterday. He has just discovered that podcasts are a thing. He said to me yesterday at coffee after our run, "Oh, Vicky, when does the podcast come out? Because I'm going to listen. Is it Tuesday?" And I was like, well, it comes out every week. There's a rather large back catalogue that you could go and listen to. And he was, I was going to listen to this week's. So I was like, but they're all there on Spotify. You could just pop on. So he went on and listened to last week's, and then he messaged me and said that he'd had lots of laughs. So Rob Collins gets a shout out. Now he'll have to listen to this week's as well, because I've given him a shout out. And now knows what a podcast is, which is great. And it was ours that he found first. Isn't that cool?
Good. Yeah, that's good. Just don't tell him that there are other podcasts out there that may be better. Just tell him,
this is the pinnacle.
Yeah.
This is as good as it gets. We've been talking for an hour and 40 about pretty much nothing.
And there are certainly no other running podcasts in Perth. This is the only one.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you, Vicky. All right. Weapons of war, Chris.
All right. So I think last week we mentioned Jesse Chambers running. Well, at the time we had suspicions about why Jesse was running a marathon a day through August, but it turns out that Jesse is running 31 marathons beginning July 31 to August 30. He's on day 17, 18. And Jesse's actually raising money to cure brain cancer. So he's, I think, got a goal of raising $50,000, and he's at over $40,000 now. Obviously, running a marathon every day is very difficult on the body. Ella will tell you not to do that. And Jesse has had a few issues in the last kind of week, but it seems like he's somehow turned things around. He did a couple of the runs on treadmills in order to, kind of repair himself. But Jesse's now, back running around Hyde Park again, and I think is probably steering away from some of those hillier kind of loops that he was doing maybe at the start. And now, he's knocking them out. And all the while, Jesse is working a full-time job. So this is not a guy who's just out in the middle of the day running laps for fun. He's genuinely trying to raise money for a good cause, and he's doing it all while he's working a full-time job from 9 to 5. So that's why you'll see that Jesse's runs are at 2 o'clock. Yeah. And also got to say, absolutely loving the content that he's producing in terms of how he's not only what he's eating, but how he's eating it. And there's nothing more pleasing to me than seeing a grown man lay in bed and eat cornettos.
No, it's not even cornettos. It's like he's moved on to maxi bonds, and he's got two maxi bonds on each hand, and he's just literally eating both sides.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
It's like your sort of content, Chris.
Exactly. It's right up my alley. But yeah, if anyone wants to contribute to Jesse's cause, we'll post something in the show notes to get a link there, and hopefully you can follow him along on Instagram and Strava and just support him wherever we can. But
can I just say one thing before you jump forward? Please. I did find it particularly funny when Simon said, "Look, I want to come and run with you, and I want to do an interview," because we decided that we really wanted to interview him, but to ask him to come and do a podcast record on top of a full-time job and a marathon a day when he's having to walk a lot of it because he was injured was a bit much. So we were like, "We'll go out and we'll do it with him," and we will do that at some point. Anyway, he responded to, when Simon reached out to him and said that, he responded and said, "Yeah, I'll be at Hyde Park from 2 a.m. on Monday morning, so I'll see you there." And Simon's like, "Oh, I slept in."
Then I woke up. I slept through my 4:30 alarm this morning, and I messaged him going, "Oh, I don't think I can make it." But he reassures me that he will be at Hyde Park every day for the rest of the month, so I'll join him at some point.
100%, we will get there.
Now, we had Carl Harrison had a big win at Run Larapinta over the weekend. It's a 4-stage race totaling 220 Ks, I think. That's run by Rapid Ascent. But he seemed to kind of finish first or second in every stage. Smashed it out. So congratulations, Carl. From what I can gather, we're talking about Alice Springs area. So if anyone's doesn't know about it, go and check it out. It looks like an incredible place to run. It's a good time of year to be out there because, yes, it's starting to get warm, but, the nights, the mornings will be very cool out there in the desert. So, running in you can just imagine how big the sky looks out there. It'd be really special. So that's cool. We had someone alerted to me to this thing called Canicross, which I hadn't heard of before. Because we were talking about what the 5K world record was for the men's and women's, and my mate Ed, he put me onto this. So there's this thing called Canicross where you run a 5K race, but tethered to your waist is a dog, on a leash, not just wrapped around your waist. But obviously a dog can run faster than a human can, right? So I think the 5K road record for the men at least is 12:30 something, maybe touch under. The Canicross 5K world record is 11:56.
I just can't wrap my head around how that's possible.
Yeah, well, unlike pram running, a dog, it has the ability. It's a bit like a dog sled, I guess. Like the dog just pulls you, and it's a bit like having a tailwind or running downhill. So, an incredible thing. It doesn't seem like there's any real organisation that verifies this stuff, but at least from my Googling or from my social media scrolling, that's where I got to with Canicross. But
it's big in the UK, and there was. I don't know whether it's still. Hey.
Nothing.
I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, at my old park run. A lot of Canicross runners used to come because it was an off-road course, but like completely flat with quite wide paths, and they'd just be at the front, and they'd have like all the Weimaraner would be there on the start line, and they would be going absolutely mad, like barking, yapping like crazy, so excited, and then they would all just fly off, and they were so fast, not that fast, obviously, but it was like the perfect course for it. I'm not sure whether it's still the same, and I think they've changed the rules at parkrun now, so you have to have your dog on a handheld lead. You can't have waist belts, whereas Ben Robinson, who holds the world record, they have the dog on the waist belt.
Gotcha.
And the dog just goes, and you don't hold on. You don't hold on. You just let them go, and they know where they're going. So it's perhaps a bit different now.
It just feels like a very like British hunting dog type thing, you know, but chasing pigeons or whatever else that people use that they shoot in the forest. And finally, we've got now. I think last year's weapon of the year was Kemi Banger or Jamie Back.
Yep.
So last year, Jamie competed. I don't know if it was the same one. I think it was a different race.
I think so.
He competed in a trail race in South Australia last year. He literally flew over there. He got off the plane and walked to his accommodation or to the start line. And I think at that point, that one he did last year was like a 70K walk or something crazy before like a 100K race or a miler or something. Jamie went to South Australia on the weekend to complete in the Ultra Series Barradorf, which is like the Barossa and Harndorf, I think, are two places like Barossa to Harndorf or vice versa. It's a 120K race. Anyway, Jamie got off the plane and he walked 46 kilometres off towards his accommodation. Not just 3 days before the race, so not really a taper. And then, he managed to finish this one. So congratulations, Jamie. You got the job done. He did the whole 120 Ks, an incredible feat. We're talking about 160 kilometres in 3 days, 4 days. And speaking of feet, the photos that Jamie posted today on his recovery walk or his recovery run, I'm not sure what it was, but those were photos I never want to see again. Like,
they're not good.
This was only fans for lepers. This was kind of like it put Kate Baker's post Margaret Rigover Ultra foot pics into a very distant second place. So, I don't think Jamie's going to have toenails next week.
It's a very early contender for Warp of the Year, like Weapons of Warp of the Year, that's for sure.
Yeah,
and we are in
himself.
August.
Yeah. But yeah, look, love to see it. Hope you're doing all right, Jamie, and hopefully you're not walking back to the airport with feet like that. But I think that's us. I'll be honest.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that image in my head.
I don't know why I've gone to look at that, but I have.
And now do you regret it?
I'm glad I'm not eating.
Yeah. It's not good. I'd be very worried if my feet were ever like that. I feel like Ella, you got to look now. Like us three have already seen it. Maybe after the record.
I think Simon, you are doing quite a big run on Saturday. Maybe this is what's to come.
Yeah, I gotta tape and loop my feet or something.
It looks like you could just peel off a whole layer.
Yeah, it looks that way. It's not nice. Okay,
moving on.
I guess we end the episode at that note. Ella, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me on. Foot picks and all.
It's been another long episode. It's another long run.
That's like gangrenous.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Thanks, Ella. I'll see you on a run soon.
Yes, you will.
How
Chris,
exciting.
Chris, all the best for Saturday. We'll see you at the start line.
Thanks, guys.
And hopefully across the many aid stations, and hopefully see you at the finish as well. Vicky, I will see you at 3:30 a.m.
As our designated pickup point, as determined by Claude.
Yep, at 3:30, 4 o'clock. We'll see.
Great. I can't wait.
Yeah. You can reach out to us on Instagram at WARunningPod. Our email address is warunningpodcast@gmail.com, and our Strava group is Warp. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next week for the WA Running Podcast. See ya.
Peace out.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Thanks, Ella.
Thanks, guys.
Hour and 50 minutes, huh?
I am tired.
This will get me through a quarter of my run on the weekend.
One easy double episode, the last 2 episodes of Warp. Get you through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.